Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Relatedness podcast. This is today. Wow, I had no clue. Probably because it's the first time. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Nathan Modern. I make music under MDRN, electronic music DJ around Toronto. Been signed by Simplify Records, Adapted Records, Hype Crew Records, Lucky Royal Records. I've worked on Love It or List It, Property Brothers, some Hallmark movies doing audio editing. And during this whole time, since 2015, I've also created and managed my YouTube channel called Canadian Cannabis Society, making YouTube channel educating people on cannabis and related subjects, encouraging safety, making how-to videos, and throughout that time, I also created a rolling paper company called Dollar Paper Club that this is a service where we can send rolling papers every month, every other month, or every quarter to people around the world, and they can get 100% hemp rolling papers from Dollar Paper Club. That's PAPE club.com. And that's a little bit about me. I've been doing a lot of work on the internet. I've been connecting with so many different people, which is why I've made this podcast called Relatedness. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're coming from the Canadian Cannabis Society YouTube channel, if you're tuning in because of Modern, thank you so much. If you're just here because you want to learn new things about me and stuff in the world, and connect with people, then you've come to the right place. I started my journey. Well, before I get into my journey, I have this bag beside me, which is tightly sealed. It's a big black garbage bag, as you can hear. It is filled with something. You can guess if you go in the comments on YouTube. I'm opening this thing up. It has a pungent, fruity smell, almost like blueberries. And what do you know? It's a big bag of medicine. So if you would like to get your medicine, I'm giving away free seeds. You can get your free blueberry cannabis sativa seeds in the mail. It's completely legal in Canada to give away seeds. So for our Canadian viewers, we're going to be starting off with you guys. So if you want to subscribe, if you're on YouTube, give us a comment and we'll give you a seed directly to your address. Okay, so this is a blueberry. If you want to search on Google blueberry leaf flea or leaf fly, Leafly, you'll be able to find the strain on there. So there's a little gift for all our viewers that are listening right now and tuning in. Thank you so much for watching, and that's my little gift for all of you. So I started in 2015 with growing videos. I started how this all began, how I started getting into the benefits and medical, and why I started exploring cannabis was because I saw a documentary that explained how cannabis was illegal due to a man who was financially invested in paper. So he went around to all the different states and he influenced the governors to essentially turn the tables on the hemp production. Hemp actually used to be a mandatory crop to grow in the States, believe it or not, and then it became almost impossible to grow it because of this man, I forget his name, but a little bit of history of Cannabis 101. And so I was inclined to do a little bit more research. I'm an artist myself, so getting into the creative realm and having an education and learning about art history, and it's interesting, the spiritual aspect of cannabis and how it was used by Romans and the Greeks as a ritualistic device, rather than someone who's just getting stoned in the back alley. But maybe they're even meditating too in their own way. When people consume their medicine, they're doing it for their own reason. That's personal to them. I can't judge that. But for me, I like to educate people on the medicinal benefits and even potential harms that might come with the consumption of cannabis. And that's been my main focus for the past since 2015. Mainly my Canadian Cannabis Society YouTube channel. It was getting up to 28,000 views a day. I had a how to roll a joint video that went viral, and that's when I was inspired to make my how to roll a joint company. Now that was a point in my life where I was definitely struggling. I was living in a frat house. I was on welfare. I had great ideas, still have great ideas. I had an idea to create simple videos that people could be entertained by while also monetizing it. Because if you didn't know, YouTube actually demonetizes any YouTube channel that has to do with cannabis or smoking, or this is because they want to reduce harm reduction. They want to encourage harm reduction, and they don't want to monetize people smoking weed. They don't want those people to make money, I guess. So that's why I have Dollar Pape Club. You can go to patreon.com/Canadian Cannabis Society, and you can contribute to the educational aspect of that. But that's been the more recent things, and I'm definitely going to be connecting with cannabis influencers, people in the cannabis industry. Not just cannabis. I want to connect with people who are encouraging wellness in so many different ways. Like there's now psilocybin companies that are coming into the markets that are promoting mental wellness. So that's really nice to see. I'd love to talk to some people and pick their brain about the future of mental wellness and where they think it's going. I've connected with so many different types of people, coming from the music realm and entertainment realm, the film industry, the music industry, the cannabis industry. I think I'm gonna be I'm just excited because now I have a reason to reach out to people and get connected, talk a little bit, pick their brain for a little bit of a time. Who knows? It's an exciting time. And that's what keeps me motivated, encouraging growth and educating people. I want to talk to people about their experiences, figure out where people came from, because my upbringing, I came from the suburbs, born and raised in Mississauga, Canada, Ontario, and wasn't a bad upbringing. Classic suburban lifestyle. But once I started smoking weed and I started being a little bit rebellious, things started changing. And my parents being traditional and me going into the art realm, it was a clashing of interests and livings, lifestyles. So since I was 16, I always thought about how to create alternative ways of living, alternative lifestyles, and that's something that I'm doing even to this day with this podcast, with my YouTube channel. I'm doing real estate stuff and finance. I invest in crypto. I invest in the stock market. I've made some great calls for people, such as Playboy, TRIP, which is actually a psilocybin mushroom company, MedMen. There's another psilocybin company that was from O'Leary that mined MIND is the ticker, if for all the finance people. But I have a nice big palette that we can talk about on this show. So that's why I called it Relatedness, because it's for people to relate in so many different ways, more than just one. I have extensive knowledge, in the entertainment industry and the cannabis industry, obviously, with my YouTube channel. So I'm just excited to connect with people and see how they're creating their lifestyle and making it with their alternative lifestyles. Yeah. So if you go on my YouTube channel, you can see quite literally the history of the past 7 years, my 7 years of living and growing and incorporating all my hustles into being a functional human, a part of society. And it's been really fun. It's been a lot of fun. And that brings me to the Dollar Pape Club. I just want to give a shout out to Redman for being a part of the club. If you go to dollarpapeclub.com, you can see Redman. He supports the club. So if you want to be a part of the coolest club around, smoking isn't for everyone, but if you want some rolling papers, some hemp wick, some convenient stuff, there's a little plug. And if you're in Canada, this is for the more experienced users. I just want to give a shout out to the Loud Plug, the Exotic Gas, and Herba Buena. So this gas is very, very potent, and I just want to give a shout out to them because I'm super impressed with their product. And coming from Canada, it's hard finding a consistent product that users and patients could rely on, and for me, this is what works for me. So that's something for my Canadian users. If they want to get into that, then they can check that out. So some stuff that I want to talk about today, a little bit. Enough about me. What I want to get into is I ran into this article here. One of the things that impacted me, and the biggest, I don't really want to get into COVID-19 stuff because I'm neutral, but one of the biggest things that impacted me during the pandemic was driving along a hospital in my local city in Mississauga and seeing the flags of the people that had passed away in the old folks home. And that was a really intense image. So here's a little video of more than 600 white flags on the National Mall. Wow, that's intense. That's really intense. And it's stuff like that, honestly, that changes people's perspectives. And I think people really need to see that. It's real. It's not fake. So that was kind of a super. Oh wow! People wrote on the flags and everything. Wow, it's really intense. 10,000 Sharpies available for visitors to use to memorialize their lost loved ones on the flags. That's super intense. So, I'm super neutral in the whole thing, but seeing stuff like that, I just want to share because it's super intense. And then, next up we have Nicki Minaj's cousin's friend's balls dominated Twitter. Along the lines of vaccines, Nicki Minaj, she's saying she got invited to the White House to talk about COVID because of the vaccines. She's saying that a friend of a friend had reproduction issues after